So we've been working really hard on this part, and I'm going to give you some really specific instructions that you're going to need to follow to make sure that all of what you're creating actually gets to people that are going to see it. Because again, what this assignment is really based on the idea that in this field, oral communication is important. And you are actually, as kind of our whole program has certain assessments for this class, oral communication is one of the things that we're assessed on. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. That's not, but what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to make with that is that oral communication in this field and in this class is very important. The reality about oral communication right now is it's done virtually. And so the idea is, how are you effectively communicating in an oral sense? In other words, most of the time spoken, or it could even be a blog, but we're trying to focus more on spoken stuff. Could be Instagram, could be we're using oral kind of loosely. How are you communicating wellness? And how are you encouraging wellness? And this is going to go on further throughout the semester. So how you're approaching it may change, but what I want to do is I just want you to give some really specific instructions now. And so these are the instructions about how we're going to do that. What we're doing with the wellness outreach projects. Most of you have given me at least an idea of what you're going to be doing. Again, the whole underlying concept of these projects are that it's some form of oral communication, and again, we're using the term oral kind of loosely, as outreach for being able to talk to, educate, inspire people in health and well-being. So that's kind of the underlying idea of what these whole projects are about. So what I've asked you to do is for you to determine what that would look like for you. Most people are doing something in social media. You don't have to, but most people are doing something in social media. It has to be oral communication. So, even if it's not like an Instagram where it's immediate social media, something like a YouTube video might work. But and again, most people I've already gotten their ideas from, or you're already good. So it could be anything from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to writing a blog to doing a few different YouTube videos. But now we need to get them seen. Okay, and if you said that you were going to do something 3 times, if you're going to do an Instagram 3 times a week, you need to really be keeping up with that 3 times a week. Don't think you're going to do it 20 times in the last week. You need to really be keeping that. Okay, so now the idea is to really do the outreach part, right? You're putting this stuff together, but how does it really get out there? So what we have done is we have created a Facebook page called Wellness Outreach. Now, the idea of that page is to serve as kind of a central point of disseminating all of your projects. So what that's going to look like is, first of all, you need to go on and you need to look at that site. If you do Facebook, if you don't do Facebook, that's totally okay. But I would encourage you to, even if you just do a profile for this class, because it's really cool to see your stuff going out there. And the link to the Facebook page, again, it's called Wellness Outreach. The link is under the course documents folder. Okay, so then the idea is, how are you going to get these links up? So we have about 11 people, I think, out of the class that are actually, their job, their wellness outreach project is to actually work as administrators for the Facebook page. So what you need to do is you need to go under the course documents folder, look at that look at the Facebook Wellness Outreach link and just get on and look at the page. like it, follow it, send it out to all your friends. We already have like 220 people or a little bit more than that already following that page. But it would be really cool to just really get it out. A page is different than like a friend's page. Okay, this is what's called a professional page, so it works a little bit different. It's not like you have a ton of friends on this. People will actually follow the page. So every time you get something posted on that, it goes out. So I would look at that, like it, follow it, send it out to all you can invite your friends to like that page and to send that out so they can see all this stuff. Okay, but the next thing, and this is the more important thing that you need to do, is there's also under the course documents link, there's a folder and it says Wellness Outreach Projects. In that folder, there's a drive, a link for a Google Drive. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in and hit that link for the Google Drive. You'll be in the Google Drive. Now, there's going to be a master sheet. Now, again, there's 200 of you enrolled in this class. So you're all assigned to a specific administrator. So their name and their email. Don't email them unless you absolutely have to. They're not your contact person for any question. What their job is to get your links on the Facebook page. So what I want you to do is just go to that master list, and then in that Google Drive, you'll see, okay, so look down and say, okay, I look for my name and I see that Diva's the person that's assigned to me as my administrator. So then up above there, you're going to see all these folders, and all the folders have names on them, and those are all the administrators. So then you're going to go into your administrator's folder, right? So then I would go, if I was assigned to Diva, I would go into Diva's folder, and that's where I'm going to submit my link. So I want you guys, if you're doing Instagram, you're going to be submitting 3 times a week. You need to make sure a couple things. You need to put your name there associated with every single link, because they need to know who it's coming from. You also need to put your email there. So if there's a question about the link and they don't understand or it's not working, they need to be able to get a hold of you. So you need to put your name, you need to put your contact information, and then you need to put the link. And so then what their job is to take your links, to look at them, and then to kind of see what they're about, and then just put a couple, sentence introduction summary on the Facebook page with the link to try to get people to open up your link. So all the Facebook page is going to be the central place that all of your wellness outreach projects kind of get disseminated from. Okay, and then what they're going to do is they're going to kind of schedule when they go out, so we don't overload people with 100 at once and then none. So it's really important, if you said you're going to do something 3 times a week, it's really important that you do it 3 times a week, not add it all up and turn 30 in 10 weeks from now. Okay, it's really important, because our goal in that page is to keep information going out, So every day there's probably going to be maybe 10 messages sent out on that Facebook page about everybody's different projects. Okay, now if you're doing a YouTube video, again, I require that if you're doing a YouTube video, because they're longer, you don't have to do as many, but it should still be kind of within that 5 to 7 minute range, because something on Facebook isn't really going to keep people's attention that much longer. And again, remember, this is on any area of the dimensions of wellness. So some people are picking, what does emotional health look like during the pandemic? Some people are picking, what does physical health look like? Some people are just kind of doing a little bit on each, right? This is emotional health, this is physical health. Some people are doing how you cook, or some people are doing, effective communication during, whatever you want to do. It has to fit under the class content. So, which is pretty broad, right, for all the different dimensions of wellness. So it needs to fit under the class content. But I also want you to think about effective method of delivery. because that's really kind of what the whole basis of this information or this whole assignment is about. It's not just getting the information out there, it's doing it in a way that's really effectively inspiring or educating people on health and well-being. Okay, so, and again, I know that we haven't covered that yet in the class. We're getting there. So as you do these posts, they're going to probably keep improving. Once you start learning more about effective communication, once you start looking at, I want you to look at some of the other posts too and see, wow, that was really effective, or no, that wasn't very effective. I want you to really kind of look at what is effective and what is kind of really reaching people's interests and stuff like that. So again, kind of take home message here is, if you haven't decided yet, you need to decide what you're doing. If you've already decided, and a lot of you I know have already started, and I just emailed you back saying save the links. So now what you do is you go under the course documents folder, you find out who your administrator is, you go into that administrator's file, and you start posting your links along with your name and your email. You might kind of give a little couple words about describing what it is. You know, this is on emotional wellness, right? And so then they can look at the link, they can then take that link, put it on the Facebook page, and introduce it. And then it's going out to you know, the whole cyber community. But I also highly encourage you to go onto that Facebook page, like it, follow it, so you can start seeing what the whole class is doing. This should be a really fun assignment. I know it's one of the major things in the class about assessment, but it should be a really fun assignment, and I want it to be fun for you, and I certainly want it to be fun for the people that it's going out to. Okay, so please, again, please keep up with it. Have it be fun, be creative, and follow it. You know, follow it and see what's going out with that. So I will hopefully that's enough information. I'll address any questions I get along the way in future modules, but that should be enough to get you started.